7:59.
Mayor, I'd like to call the reorganization meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council to order for January 4th, 2018 at 8 p.m. On roll call, council members Balistrieri.
Here.
Churdo. Here. Dombrowski. Here. Giandomenico.
Here.
Pellegrin.
Here.
Golobeck. Here. Mayor Catamagna.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Can everyone rise, please, for a prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to place a meeting which we entrust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and implant therein a keen sense of justice, a greater love for you and our neighbors. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring you peace and happiness to our community. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing an annual meeting notice in the record of Hackensack and the Herald News, by posting such a notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well in the public place within the municipality building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was being posted on December 11, 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is being videotaped and will be on Cablevision Channel 77 on Tuesdays at 12 p.m., Thursdays 9 a.m., and on Fridays at 8 a.m. The video is also available on the Borough website, www.elmwoodparknj.us.
Mayor, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. We have minutes from December 7th, 2017 work session and the December 21st, 2017 regular meeting minutes, and it would be appropriate for the two new members of the governing body to abstain on both as they were not officially sworn in as of those dates.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Balistrieri.
Abstain.
Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Abstain.
Golobeck.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight we'll begin with the selection of council president for 2018 with resolution R0118. We'll need a nomination for council president.
I nominate Councilman Joe Dombrowski.
I'll second.
Mayor, at this time it would be appropriate to ask for any additional nominations.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Councilman Daniel Golobeck.
I'll second.
Okay.
Any other nomination?
But thank you.
Mayor, during the course of the roll call, it would be appropriate for the members of the council to vote the name of the individual they would like to serve as council president rather than yea or nay.
So call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmember Balistrieri.
Daniel Goldberg.
Churda.
Councilman Dombrowski.
Dombrowski.
Councilman Golobeck.
Giandomenico.
Dombrowski.
Pellegrin.
Daniel Goloback.
Golobeck.
Mr. Goldberg.
Third person. Motion passes for Councilman Golobeck. Whereas the nomination has... At this time, I'd like to call forward members of the Golobeck family and ask Mayor Catamagna and Council President Golobeck to come forward for the oath of office. right hand up.
Ready? I, Daniel Goldbach,
I, Daniel Goldberg,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in me,
and to the governments established in me,
Council in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and the state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
justly perform
justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of the office of
of the office of Council President.
Congratulations.
So help me God.
Mayor, at this time, we'll move on to the selection of council representative to the planning board for calendar year 2018. We'll need a motion from the council.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved?
Well, we need a name.
Oh. Daniel Goldberg?
Second.
Motion made by Dombrowski,
Call the roll, please.
seconded by Pellegrin. On roll call, council members Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Domenico.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, we'll move on to appointments. Start with Resolution 03-18, appointment of Borough Attorney. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Giuseppe Randazzo as Borough Attorney for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Caramagna, Mayor. Appointment of the Borough Attorney, Resolution R03-18. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Giuseppe Randazzo, Esquire, as Borough Attorney for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
I'd like to ask Mr. Randazzo to come forward and take a seat on the dais. Our next appointment, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Stephen Rogat Esquire as bond counsel for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Caramagna, Mayor. Resolution R04-18, appointment of bond counsel. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Stephen Rogat Esquire as bond counsel for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Stephen Wilcox, RMA, as the Borough Auditor for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Caramagna, Mayor. Resolution 05-18, appointment of Borough Auditor. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Stephen Wilcox, RMA, as a Borough Auditor be appointed for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Before roll call, are we allowed comments?
Yes, please.
Discussion, thank you. I'm just curious what Mr. Lurch did to not be reappointed after about 25 years of serving our borough, and quite frankly, doing an excellent job under a Republican or a Democrat, doesn't matter what majority it was. He did an excellent job, and most of you have voted for him, if not seconded the motion year after year, complimenting him on what a great job he has done serving this borough. Not once in all the meetings has anyone ever stated any time that person, Mr. Lurch and his firm, did anything wrong in the borough. So I'm curious as to why we're replacing him.
I'd like to know that answer too, because I'm confused why. We have a very healthy surplus. We have no comments on our audits. We have a record of tax collection, and it's not something you obtain over a year or two. It's something that you obtain with long-range financial planning, and that's not only done by our CFO or our borough administrator and everything, but that's a big help with our auditor, who usually does 3-year projections, as you know, for us. So I'd like to know why they're getting replaced.
Would you like to answer?
Well, I'd like the mayor to answer. It's a mayor
Okay,
appointment,
then
right?
yes.
Right?
I agree
I'd
with
like
you
you to
most of the
answer.
time. I think he did a good job for us. Also, you don't know Mr. Stephen Workhouse, do you know him?
No, but if
It's
you
not
like,
about
Frank,
what-
I can tell you a little bit about him. An article on January 22nd, 2016, written by a staff writer for the Bergen County Record stated, he fudged the books. Democrat Councilman and Finance Chairman Bob McQuaid said of Wilcox, his audits were completely wrong, but whoever pays you, you do what is told. And this is in reference to him serving as the auditor for Dumont, who he no longer serves as Dumont, and we all know who serves Dumont, Paul Lurch and his firm. Paul Lurch also serves as the Board of Education's auditor, and he serves as the the Board of Education auditor, starting in 2013. And I'll also read another article that's stated from Mr. Egan, who is the monitor for the Board of Education, the state-appointed monitor, who basically said Egan also pointed to the Board of Education in Elmwood Park, where he was named state monitor in 2013. After the district had run up deficits for the prior 2 years as an example of progress, they are now out of a deficit, he said, and the new monitor is now down to 1 day a week, and that monitor will be gone probably next year. And I kind of tie that into the fact that the deficit was built up in the Board of Education, and who was the auditor? Does anybody on the board know who the auditor was? Why don't we shout it out?
Are you finished, Councilman?
No, it was
Well,
Wilcox.
the mayor hasn't answered the
It
question.
was Wilcox, and he is no longer,
What are you talking about?
he's no longer
Go
the
ahead,
auditor.
Mr.
Lurch is now the auditor of the Board of Education.
That is correct.
Thank you. I think I was under 10 minutes, right? I was under 10 minutes?
You don't have a time limit.
So
Listen, I like to answer, I like to go on more and more explaining other things here, but I don't want to do it in public, I don't want to really put anybody down, it's not my style. One thing I know is, we are looking for a change, and this is one of the reasons why we want to, no, we don't want to, I guess the council will vote on this guy here. So we are looking for a change, and there's many other negative, other side that I don't want to bring it up, because what do you call, has been really a gentleman with me, so if you don't
I
mind.
have your resolutions for the last 10 years where you voted for Paul Lurch.
not
Mr.
only
Bovee
voted,
for him on
seconded.
Board
Of
of
course,
Ed.
seconded.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I don't deny it.
So why in all the
What's the
years that he was on,
change
why
that's
didn't you ever
needed?
speak up against
It's
him?
really fair. The council votes, I don't vote.
Oh, I
just
understand,
nominate.
I understand. I'm just doing
Okay.
my best to, before we do vote, is to bring up all of these items so that everybody is well informed before we make a vote. And I hope that the change that you're alluding to, because change is the opposite sometimes, and we've been doing great with Lurch, so hopefully the change is not going to be a negative.
And I'm sure we'll do great with Mr.
No, I hope that we'll do great going forward, but the information that I've seen in front of me don't really, I don't understand why someone would get rid of the auditor and appoint Lurch, and we're going backwards. And so,
Mayor, if I could just make a brief comment. I think, because we're probably going to have this situation come up several times tonight with different appointments, I think the fact that we're not reappointing someone is not a reflection of their work, that they did a bad job, or an assessment of their work. These individuals are appointed for a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, and at the expiration of those terms, committees evaluate proposals, and nominations are put forward. Mr. Wilcox serves in many communities, serves on the county level, and I think he will be a good fit for our community, and I hope that through the course of the year that he will demonstrate to you that he will do as good a job or better than Mr. Lurch did for the Borough of Elmwood Park. Thank you.
Thank you, spokesperson.
Okay, and I have call the roll. Yes, Roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Balistrieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
No.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Kelly M. Reyes, Esquire, as Borough Prosecutor for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Caramagna, Mayor. Resolution 06-18, appointment of Borough Prosecutor. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Kelly M. Reyes, Esquire, as Borough Prosecutor for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
Can we open to discussion, please?
It would be appropriate to have a motion
Oh,
and
I'm
a
sorry.
second on the
I
floor.
So moved.
apologize. I jumped the gun.
Dombrowski,
Second?
Golubek.
Okay, open for discussion.
Okay. Is this one changed as well?
Excuse me?
I'm just curious why we are not
Why you make a
reappointing.
change?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I don't know the person. We didn't get any resumes.
Mayor,
so
I-
don't-
I'd
Yeah,
like to
go
answer
ahead.
this,
Yeah.
if I may. 2 years ago, we had, or actually 4 years ago, we had replaced the gentleman that we're replacing. I don't want to make the name, but, and we were told that, we were crazy for doing it, and the situation was, 2 years later, that the prosecutor that we brought in wasn't bringing in enough revenue for the borough. And I looked at the records over the last 2 years. He hasn't done much better than the prosecutor before. So at the same point, I don't think over the last 4 years we've had great representation. I think it's time for a change.
So the revenue is only generated by what the prosecutor brings in,
It has a lot to do with it.
but only?
If they, no, not only, no, but if something is brought from a class 4 down to a class 1, that does make a difference. So I think it's time for a change.
And I'd just like to add, I think Ms. Reyes is a very qualified individual who actually serves nearby in Saddlebrook as a prosecutor, and I think by year's end, you'll be satisfied with her performance as prosecutor. Thank
None of
you.
this is about anybody's qualifications. It's more as something more than just to change. More reasoning why we're changing
That's
stuff
not
other
true,
than
Lily.
change. That's all we got from you, Mayor.
No, it's not true.
It is.
No, the
We got
change
more
is-
from the council
Councilwoman-
president. From you. What's got changed
Councilwoman, all due respect, I think that came from me.
Let's call the roll, please.
before.
On roll call, Councilmembers Balistrieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Dominic Stampone Esquire as alternate Borough Prosecutor for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Caramagna, Mayor. Resolution 07-18, appointment of alternate Borough Prosecutor. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Dominic Stampone Esquire as alternate prosecutor for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second.
Call the roll, please. Or any discussion, I'm sorry.
Yeah, why not? So how come we haven't gotten any resumes on any of these people? When we appointed Mr. Geisler last year, he submitted a resume.
Well, through you, Mayor, on the professional appointments, all of these were responded to through the RFQ
Yes,
process.
yes.
And in those RFQs were these folks' professional backgrounds.
Okay.
I can't speak to the board appointments, but I can speak to the professional piece.
Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Balistrieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Can I just make a brief comment? Councilman Turd, are you aware that this gentleman was the only person that submitted for alternate prosecutor?
I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Okay, does that impact how you voted by any way?
No, I'm,
So you just voted no for the sake
Just
of
to know
no?
for the sake or no, to be
For the sake of
against.
change.
for the sake of change.
Oh, you too?
No, I
So we knew we were gonna
no,
get
no,
along.
I will admit, I'm not here to hide anything. I will admit. I did not know that. I admit that. I did not
You
know
don't
that.
know then.
I apologize.
Thank you.
To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Mark Musella Esquire as Public Defender for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Caramagna, Mayor. Resolution 08-18, appointment of Public Defender. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Mark Musella Esquire as Public Defender for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, call the roll. Oh, any discussion?
No, thank you.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri?
Yes.
Churdo?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes.
Pellegrini?
Yes.
Golubek?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Kurt Geisler Esquire as Public Defender for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Caramagna, Mayor. Resolution 09-18, Appointment of Public Defender. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Kurt Geisler Esquire as Public Defender for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri?
Yes.
Churdo?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes.
Pellegrini?
Yes.
Golubek?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Richard Alimo as Municipal Engineer for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Caramagna, Mayor. Resolution 10-18, Appointment of Municipal Engineer. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Richard Alimo as Municipal Engineer for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri?
Yes.
Churdo?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes.
Pellegrini?
Yes.
Golubek?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, we'll move on to one ordinance that we will introduce tonight on first reading, and that's Resolution 11-18, introduce ordinance 18-01 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the ordinance entitled an ordinance to establish the Water Department of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to fix the rates and prices to be charged for the use of water and establish rules and regulations for the distribution, supply, use, and protection of said water, and penalties for the violation of certain said rules and regulations be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, January 18th, 2018, at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter, same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and he's hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction, and final hearing is required by law.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this one?
Through you, Mayor, this is simply the pass-through rate
Okay.
increase that is being passed along to us by the Passaic Valley Water Commission for 2018.
Okay, call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri?
Yes.
Churdo?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes.
Pellegrini?
Yes.
Golubek?
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to the consent agenda, we have Resolution 12-18, the adoption of the Open Public Meetings Act, Resolution 13-18, declaration of official newspapers, Resolution 14-18, annual notice of public meeting calendar, Resolution 15-18, designation of official depositories, Resolution 16-18, the cash management plan, Resolution 17-18, the affirmation of the civil rights policy, Resolution 18-18, the 2018 temporary budget appropriations, Resolution 19-18, an agreement adopting the flexible spending benefits plan, Resolution 20-18, a resolution establishing a petty cash fund in the police department, Resolution 21-18, a resolution establishing a petty cash fund in the recreation department, Resolution 22-18, an appointment of risk manager, professional insurance associates, Resolution 23-18, payment of bills, Resolution 24-18, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 25-18, appointment of the Public Agency Compliance Officer, Resolution 26-18, appointment of police towers for 2018, Resolution 27-18, appoint Special Projects Engineer, Costa Engineering, Resolution 28-18, appoint licensed water operator, DeBlock Environmental Services, Resolution 29-18, appoint licensed sewer operator, DeBlock Environmental Services, Resolution 30-18, appointment of continuing disclosure agent, Phoenix Advisors, LLC, Resolution 31-18, resolution regarding the mutual aid plan and rapid deployment force interlocal services agreement, Resolution 32-18, authorize agreement for a certified recycling professional, the Bergen County Utilities Authority, Resolution 33-18, a resolution to refund credit balances on property tax accounts, Resolution 34-18, a redeem a third-party tax lien for 270 Mola Boulevard, Resolution 35-18, appoint municipal grant writer, Millennium Strategies, Resolution 36-18, appoint before and after care employee within the Recreation Department. Resolution 37-18, appointment of firefighter Daniel Howard with Fire Company 2. And Resolution 38-13, a resolution to accept this consent agenda.
May I have a motion on consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this?
I just have a question. Keith, with R 2718, Special Projects Engineer, that was Boswell?
Boswell Engineer had certain projects
Yeah, they
that
were
were left
finishing.
over from when they were here.
Yes.
I don't believe that they were assigned any new projects except the one we did at the last meeting, which was just to update the zoning map.
Zoning map.
My understanding is that this appointment is that if there are any conflicts throughout the year that a LIMO holds, then we would first offer that work to Costa Engineering.
All right, it's not something necessarily that we
There
would...
there are no, as of now, there are no specific projects that have been brought forth to my attention that would be assigned to them as of tonight.
Would they be bidded, or they would just get they would automatically get it if there's a conflict?
It would have to be assigned at a work session. So if
Okay.
we had a specific project, we would talk about it at the work session, and then a separate resolution awarding that project to Costa would have to be done prospectively.
Okay, thank you.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Balistrieri?
Yes.
Churdo?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes.
Pellegrin?
Yes.
Golubek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Moving on to appointments to various boards and commissions. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint John DiMarzio to the Board of Health for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 3918, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of John DiMarzio to the Board of Health for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020, be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussions on this?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to know how the names for the various boards were solicited. I reached out to the clerk to ask him to forward me any emails or resumes that were submitted to him, both him and you. He replied that he was only submitted one letter of interest, was a resume. Former Councilman Boncino is the only one that I've known submitted. I haven't heard back from you, so I just wanted to know how the names were solicited.
These are the people that we know, and I think they qualify for the job.
There's not saying anything about the people. I think it's great that people are interested in being in the boards. I just wanted to know how you came about the resumes.
Well, the resume is, in the past, really, we did not ask for resumes. They said to us recently when we appoint Clary to be mayor, but before that, there was never a resume. You guys tell me, because I was out for a year or two, do they need a resume? These people, they're from town, we know.
I'm sorry, I thought you were for change, so you were changing stuff, but I guess not. So
Sorry?
I said I thought we were going with change. You're referencing the past.
Well, you
Are
smart.
you, if you
I'm
should...
talking to the mayor,
No,
Council
I
President,
apologize.
It
respectfully.
becomes sarcastic, I don't like
No,
it.
no,
You should
I'm
have
saying
to-
what you're saying, I'm
have to
using your
respect,
verbiage.
okay?
I'm being very
Listen,
respectful.
You never been here before. I had to go through this over and over again. I had my opinion, I expressed my opinion, and then the mayor
So
said to
I
me,
ju-
well,
I
you
would
have
just
live
like
with
to
that."
know how
So
you
please,
got the names.
If everything we do, if you're gonna be political here,
I'm
I'm
not-
sorry. This year, we are in charge. You wanna work with us, more than welcome. We love you, you're an intelligent young lady, but if you can come this way, here's a problem.
Because I'm asking how you receive names for boards that's being adversarial?
We receive names from other people. They say there's people more than qualified, and they're interested for the job. You interview them, there they are.
Who interviewed them?
I did.
Mayor, may I?
Please.
I just wanted to make a comment that, that's a good suggestion. Maybe for the future, we should look at that, because in the past, I know that all the meetings I've come to, I've never seen or heard anything about.
Right, and you just vote for
But-
people you don't
but
know who
you
you're
know what?
voting
But that's
for.
a great idea, so maybe we should look at that for next year, Mayor.
We never asked that before in the past.
But it's
I was
something we
out
could look
for
at.
a year and a half from here, whatever the guys did.
No, well, I did reach out. I sent an email asking about resumes and how
Anyhow,
to forward. It was just ignored.
Mayor,
Do I have a yes, sir?
if I may, sorry. I want, because we're going to probably discuss every one of these if this is the way it's going. If you look at the names here, 80% of them we're reappointing. They're being reappointed. These are people that are in town that have been in these positions that we're reappointing. Okay, so, and the other names, the other 20%, maybe with the exception of one or two, you may not know who these people are, but we know that these are respected people in this community. People know who they are. It's kind of, I
Joe,
just want...
nobody ever questioned the people or their
I'm not saying
integrity or
you are,
ability to be
Councilwoman.
on the board.
I'm not saying you are, but
Let's just make that
I think
clear.
we're going to, I think when you look at these names, 80% of them are being reappointed. I think it's fair that that is being stated. I'm sorry, but I will agree with you, Councilwoman. I think for the future, it is something that we should
We
look
should
at.
do that, maybe, yes. Okay, can I have, we have a motion? Can I
We have
call
a
roll?
motion, we have a motion and a second, Mayor.
We need a motion?
We have a
Roll call.
motion. Roll call.
Roll call, please.
On roll call, council members Balistrieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golovic.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Denise Ingui to the Board of Health for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 40-18, appointment of Board of Health member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Denise Ingui to the Board of Health for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Let's call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Balistrieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golovic.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Donald Ingrassalino to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2021. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 41-18, appointment of Board of Adjustment member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Donald Ingrassalino to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2021 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion,
So
please?
moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Balistrieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golovic.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Frank Baglieri to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2021. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 42-18, appointment of Board of Adjustment member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Frank Baglieri to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2021 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? No? He's a Republican, this guy.
I'm sorry?
This guy is a Republican.
But unfortunately,
It's not
Frank, I'm not
political.
voting Republican or Democrat.
Oh.
I'm voting for
I'm sorry.
people that are
I
either in the
apologize.
position
Anyhow,
or people that have
call
submitted
the roll,
a
please.
resume.
Call the roll, please.
I cannot vote for someone that I do not know.
On roll call, council members Balistrieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golovic.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Gino Benamini to the Board of Adjustment as alternate number 1 for a period of 2 years, term ending December 31st, 2019. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 43-18, appointment of Board of Adjustment alternate number 1 member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council, the Borough of Elmwood Park, that the appointment of Gino Benamini to the Board of Adjustment as alternate number 1 for a period of 2 years, term ending December 31st, 2019 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Call the roll.
On roll call, council members Balistrieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golovic.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, on the next two succeeding resolutions, 44 and 45, there was an error in my office with regard to the terms of these individuals. When the Recreation Advisory Board was established in 2014, the initial terms of office that were assigned to 3 members was a 5-year term.
That's correct.
And then at the completion of those terms at inception, it reverted to a 3-year term.
That is also
So when I read these into the record, I'm going to read them into the record based on the 3-year term, which is in accordance with the ordinance.
perfect.
To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Glenn Pettigano to the Recreation Advisory Board for for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 44-18, appointment of Recreation Advisory Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Glenn Petigano to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020, be and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries. And the same will apply to this next resolution. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent, appoint Peter Scalaro to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 45-18, appointment of Recreation Advisory Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Peter Scalaro to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2020, be and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
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 Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now, this third resolution, which is also for the unexpired term, actually Councilwoman Ballestieri's unexpired term, this is correct that it will be for a one-year unexpired term, which will fulfill the balance of the term she was appointed to. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent, appoint Santo Scarpula to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 1 year for the term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 46-18, appointment of Recreation Advisory Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Santo Scarpula to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 1 year for the unexpired term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Dombrowski.
Give me a second.
Dombrowski.
Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent, appoint Francesco Fasolo to the Library Board for a period of 5 years, term ending December 31st, 2022. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution R 47-18, appointment of Library Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Francesco Fasolo to the Library Board for a period of 5 years, term ending December 31st, 2022 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
I will abstain. My younger brother works for the library, and I think it's a conflict of voting when the library board members set salaries.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent, appoint Myrna Place to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 1 year, term expiring December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 48-18, appointment to the Rent Leveling Board. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Myrna Place to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 1 year, term ending, unexpired term ending December 31st, 2018, be and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
No.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
If I'd just like to say for the record, Mr. Kazmark, is it correct that last year there was a position on the rent leveling board that went unfilled all year?
The position of the member tenant was vacant through 2017.
Okay, thank you.
To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, with your advice and consent, appoint John Adamo to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2021. Respectfully submitted, Francesco A. Catamagna, Mayor. Resolution 49-18, appointment of Rent Leveling Board member, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of John Adamo to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2021 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Ballestieri,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes.
Pellegrin?
Yes.
Golubek?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, at this time, we can move on to your announcement of mayoral appointments.
I nominate Salvatore Graffia on the planning board for the period of 4 years term. Also, Antonio Castelbuono, planning board member for 4 years term. Shakib Fakuri, planning board alternate, number 1, member, 2 years term. Ricardo Patain, mayor delegate, planning board, this is a pleasure of the mayor. Dominic Carriero, mayor's delegate, library board, pleasure of the mayor again. Maybe I should read the council committee assignment and the liaison. On finance, as a chair, would be Councilman Golubek, Councilwoman John Domenico, Councilwoman Balistrieri. On the fire, Councilman Dombrowski, as chair, Councilwoman John Domenico, Councilman Golubek. Insurance and ordinance, Councilman Cerdo is the chair, Councilwoman Balistrieri, Councilwoman Pellegrin. On the personnel, Councilwoman John Domenico, Councilwoman Pellegrin, and Councilman Golubek. On the police, Councilwoman Pellegrin, Councilman Dombrowski, Councilman Cerdo. Department of Public Works and Buildings and Grounds, Councilwoman Balistrieri, Councilman Dombrowski, Councilman Cerdo. Then we have a liaison for the ambulance court. We have Councilwoman John Domenico, the Board of Education, Councilman Golubek, Board of Health, Councilman Pellegrin, Board of Recreation, Councilwoman Balistrieri, Homeowners, Councilman Cerdo, Senior Citizens, Mayor Caramagna, Veterans Alliance, Mayor Caramagna. JIF Representative, Councilman Golubek, Planning Board Representative, Councilman Golubek. Special Veterans, Councilman Golubek, Councilwoman John Domenico, Councilwoman Pellegrin. I'm done with the assignment. I guess we have the council reports. And I gotta start with you.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Thank you, Mayor. Oh, you're not?
No, he said he's not.
Get my hopes up. Can I just put your little lozenge in my mouth because my throat was getting
Did I
sore?
give you that candy? Did it work?
It's working, it's opening
I
everything
told
up.
you, it's great. I gotta get one myself.
I was worried it was gonna make my throat go numb.
Take a recess. Please take a recess for
Take change.
3 minutes. Okay, we need a council report, please. Again, John Domenico, would you please give us the honor to be the first?
Since I don't have any committee reports yet, since we haven't met, I'd just like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Formally congratulate once again Councilwoman Balistrieri and Councilwoman Pellegrin for joining us. Congratulate Council President Golubek. I'm sure you'll do a great job, and I look forward to working with everybody on the dais, everybody in the boards, and all of our volunteers, and to a good 2018.
Sandy, police today.
I'm also, these are new boards, and I look forward to working with all the board members, and of course, I look forward to working with this council. I think we're going to do some great things in Elmwood Park. I want to congratulate the president, Councilman Golubek, and I look forward to working with everyone, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Councilman Cerro.
Thank you,
Certo.
Thank you, Mayor, thank you. It's Kirdo. Again, I'd like to echo everybody's comments, congratulating Council President Dan, congratulations. Mr. Randazzo, congratulations. And then also to all the other individuals that were appointed to serve on the various boards in the community. My votes tonight, it's nothing against anyone, it's just that unfortunately, if I don't even know what the person looks like, or knows why they're on the board, unfortunately, I can't I can't consciously vote for that person. So my votes tonight had nothing to do with anything outside of, I don't even know if any of them are here right now because I don't know what their qualifications are nor who they are. So I hope nobody got offended by my votes of no. I encourage you. I hope you do a great job. But unfortunately, that's the only justification I have is that I did not know qualifications nor recognize the names. In regards to the Department of Public Works, I think DPW, again, worked very hard. Right about now, most of them are probably getting home, and they're just having the opportunity to probably shovel themselves out. And they do a great job, they work hard, and unfortunately, sometimes there's always a couple of people that feel like they just don't do what they're supposed to do, but they do an excellent job, and they should really be commended. I think the main streets in town look great. Just a little tidbit, I think the cars off the sides of the street, the alternate side, I think worked again, very successful. The chief said there was about 200 tickets that were given, which I think is, again, creeping lower and lower and lower from where we started, basically almost 340 or 380 tickets the first time. So I think that's really helping in the efficiency of the community and the streets being cleaned or snow plowed. Okay, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank
I look
you,
forward
thank you.
to a new year.
Councilwoman Pellegrin.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm just really excited to be back in this spot again as your councilwoman. I look forward to working with all the residents and the entire mayor and council, and I wish much success in 2018 for Elmwood Park. I would also like to congratulate everyone that was appointed to the board, any board tonight. It's a great opportunity to learn, and I wish you a lot of success in your new roles. Also, I'd like to congratulate Councilman Daniel Golovac for being our new council president. I know he will do a great job. And a little story about Dan is when I was first on the council many years ago, he was very, very young, and he used to email me questions, and a lot of questions. And I used to answer him because I thought to myself, this person, this young person, is so interested in town government. And I was really impressed with him. And now it is my honor and joy to be working side by side with him. And it's been many years, and it's just very exciting for me to see that little child now be council president. So I'm very proud of him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, I'd like to congratulate Daniel Howard on his appointment to firefighter tonight on Company 2. Good luck to him, and thank you for being a volunteer, and please stay safe. And I was just handed, I didn't attend any Board of Health meetings yet because we were just assigned, but I just got a note saying that dog and cat licenses renewal are due no later than January 31st, and after February 1st, there will be a $20 late fee. Letters did go out to remind the residents in November. So that's my first Board of Health report. But thank you. Again, I look forward to working with everybody and progress.
Councilman Ambrosi.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Councilman Cherto and Councilwoman Jen Domenico for having your faith and nominating me for Council President, but it was absolutely my honor to nominate Council President Daniel Golovac to our Council President. I know, Dan, you will do an excellent job. You're a young man who has done tremendous things in your career so far, and I think you'll continue to do many great things. So I congratulate you. I'd like to, again, congratulate our new council women, Sandy Ballesteri, to my left, Councilwoman Lorraine Pellegrin, for joining this council, Mayor Catamagna, joining us a few weeks ago. Congratulations again. I think 2018 is going to be good for all of us as a community. But there's one thing that I have to say about this recent snowstorm that we just had. Many of you who are on Nixle got a Nixle from our police chief warning you that we will be following up with tickets for illegally parked cars. So those 200 people that did get tickets, they either don't sign up to Nixle, or they also don't have Facebook, because we immediately put it out on Facebook, and I highly recommend the residents to either sign up to Nixle or sign up to the borough Facebook page, and you'll get information. And I know each one of us as council people, a lot of us will forward it and let people know, because we have followers ourselves. So by all means, please follow the council as well on Facebook. I think we all have one. But one thing I have to say is that we had an issue in town today, because the garbage depot had to close down. So the garbage men who were supposed to pick up in all sections today, as well as recyclers in Section 4, some of the recycling and some of the garbage did not get picked up today. So we are asking everybody to, I know it's too late, but the reason I'm asking you to sign up and follow us on Facebook, you would know this. Leave your garbage out tonight. It will get picked up tomorrow. Your recycling will also get picked up tomorrow. But the one thing I have to tell you, last night prior to the snowstorm, I did drive around town, and I must tell you, Mayor, that I would have to say at least 50% of the residents are putting their garbage in the streets. Their garbage cans are in the streets. Now, if we can't put parked cars on the streets during a snowstorm, why would you put your garbage cans? It only makes it hard for our DPW, who was out there for 18 hours before they have to go out and sleep, okay? They're out there and they're dodging not only cars, but now they're also having to dodge these garbage cans. And folks, please, all I'm asking you, put the garbage either on your apron of your driveway or on the grassy part of the lawn between your sidewalk. There's no reason for it to be in the street. And the second thing is, listen to the forecast. If you hear it's going to be a windy day, please make sure your garbage is secure, so that we don't have garbage flying all over the streets. It's January. I'm sure we've got a few more storms to go through, and I'm asking the residents to please sign up to Nixle, sign up to the Elmo Park Facebook page, sign up to your councilman's pages. Okay, you'll get the information. All right, and lastly, the garbage cans. It's really a problem for our DPW, and it's really a problem for the town. So, other than that, Mayor, I thank you. Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Dombrowski. See, today I had a call about this, Nixle, I just want to answer him about this.
Oh.
The senior citizen, but they do that, they don't know.
A senior citizen with the Nixle?
Yeah, Nixle.
Again, I can't answer for all senior citizens. I don't know if they're technologically savvy or not. If they have a cell phone, it's just, you go to nixle.com, you put in your zip code, and you'll get everything for this particular area. I think it's a 2-mile area. Unfortunately, you'll get Maywood, which comes across 100 times a day. But it is an important, listen, Elmo Park respects it, Mayor. We only use it in emergencies. We don't use it to say street so-and-so is closed, or, God forbid, there's a water main break or something like that. We only do it for major emergencies. So that's why Nixle is important. But again, our Facebook page.
How do we educate people to know how to use this?
Well, it's on our borough website, that people could go to our borough website. Maybe it's a letter that we send out, and maybe we put it next year in our recycling handbook.
Something should be done, because a lady was all upset, she got a ticket this morning. She's
Well,
a senior
The signs
citizen.
are out too, though. I can bring again to the meeting.
You mean that big
Yeah,
one?
the sign, yeah.
Mayor, again, I'm sorry that people are getting tickets, but, this council for the last few years has really tried real hard to help the DPW clear our streets, because everybody remembers, the DPW is set up to lose no matter what, okay? They're in a lose-lose situation when it snows, because you get people that say, I just cleaned my walkway, and all of a sudden the truck came right back and plowed me in again. I get it, but our main concern is getting the streets clean. If you choose to go out there during the middle of a snowstorm and do your sidewalk so that you could get ahead of it, and the snowplow comes again, there's nothing we can do about it. My suggestion to people is to try to, designate your time so that, the problem is, and this is what people may not realize, our DPW may be out again tonight snow plowing due to the drifts that are happening. So, I'm just saying, Mayor, I'm sorry that people are getting tickets, but if you can't read a sign, there's nothing I can do to help you.
Thank you. I didn't forget you.
I apologize.
Mr. Golubak?
Thank you. I'd just like to start off by thanking my colleagues for their faith and confidence in selecting me as council president for this year. It's an honor to serve in this capacity. It doesn't come with that many more rights or special roles than the rest of the council, so my voice will matter just as much as every other member's, no more, no less. Councilwoman Pellegrin stole my thunder because I was going to tell the story of how we met online, I guess. That sounds weird, but we met online 10 years ago. Yes, as a young person, I did send emails to Councilman Pellegrin, mainly about Artesian Fields County Park, because living 3 blocks away, I couldn't stand looking at just a wooded forest and no progress on it. And here we are serving together, and not much has changed with that, and that'll, I'm sure, be one of our goals as we start 2018. So I welcome you. It's an absolute honor to work with you. When I emceed Mayor Caramagna's swearing in, I talked about perseverance, and you fit right into that category. You had run twice in previous years and were not successful, but still put your name in this year because you believed in community, believed in the town, and believed in a better Elmwood Park, and I'm happy that you're up here serving with us. It's truly an honor. And to Councilwoman Ballestieri, I also have a story with her from when I was young. We didn't meet online, though. In 2010, Councilwoman Ballestieri ran for council, and then it was the first campaign I had ever gotten involved in. We spent a lot of time walking the streets of Elmwood Park and talking to voters. And although she wasn't successful that year, we really struck a bond, and we joked to each other that one day maybe we'll end up on the council serving together. And it was, half serious, half joking, but here we are 7 years later. So, Councilwoman, it's an honor, and I think we're going to do tremendous work together. I think anyone who's spent any time in government realizes that the reorganization is probably the most difficult meeting of the year with changes in government. There's some uncertainty and questions, but I will just say from my point of view, every appointment that we did tonight, both professional and individuals on the boards, are qualified individuals. They are longtime residents of this community, those that are appointed to boards, and I have full confidence that they will work with us to improve and progress Elmwood Park to the spot that it should be. With that, I think we will have a very successful year as long as we respect one another, understand one another, and listen to one another. With that, Mayor, progress. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for coming out tonight. Such a terrible night. And here you are. Thank you very much for this. I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. Mr. Goldback mentioned that the people they appoint, they are professional. The people that we really know them. No offense to others. Somehow, this new administration, and we have many things to accomplish. We have to work very hard. I'm happy to have the majority right now, because in the past I worked very hard. I was all by myself. And many times I had an objection. I guess they used to tell me, well, you have to live with that for now. And I learned my lesson, right? I sat on a seat over there for 13 years. I want to change. I was always denied. So I didn't do it for punishment. I just want to make sure we all understand this. I have to compliment DPW. They called me this morning. They told me what time they were going out. They did an excellent job. You look outside, you see the blacktop on the street. Before, remember that? You didn't see that. Now, we work with them, and they're doing an excellent job. I compliment them. I guess Danny said everything else before, everybody else. I just have nothing to say, but just I hope we all work together, right? And I hope we cooperate. And as a new mayor, I want to do the best I can for our community. I want to work very hard, and I'll be with you. Everyone, so far, since I came here, many calls. I get, and I call each one of them back. Nobody can say, he didn't call me back, you forget, right? There was some concern on the street, I went with the engineer, somehow we tried to resolve it. We cannot resolve everything, but we tried the best. And I promise you, if you need me at any time, look, I'm retired. It's a part-time job. I'm available as long as I'm in Emo Park, I'm available at any time. So call me, and I'll be working with you. As I say, it's an honor to be here, to serve as the mayor, and I hope I get the community to help me also, okay? Thank you very much, and Happy New Year.
Mayor will need a motion to open the hearing to the public.
Okay, can I have a motion to open the floor to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Anyone from the public who wishes to be heard, would you please come forward, state your name and address?
You had to wear that hat tonight.
Right?
You had to wear that hat tonight.
Roll Tide. Monday, be there.
You know, Lou, I didn't recognize you.
Lou Vancino, 119 18th Avenue. Can't remember the process. I think there's a time limit, too. I have a couple of comments
Do I need to set a time?
and a question. First, Mr. Randazzo, good to see you again. Congratulations. I didn't know what to do tonight, Thursday night. I guess you didn't expect to see me so soon. I was like wandering around my house lost, so my wife kicked me out. But I didn't shave, I don't have to put the suit on, so I'm back to the 2009 me. I guess the one thing I knew when I served there, the governing body needs to be good stewards of our taxpayers' tax dollar. And that's of prime importance, and I think the biggest role of the governing body is to be good stewards of our tax dollar. We work hard to bring that money home and support our families and whatnot. And I guess what I heard tonight is we moved away from an auditor who served us well for many years, and because of that importance of keeping this town in fiscal health and knowing the condition of the town and the fiscal health of this town, it's just astonishing to me that the committee that reviewed the RFPs could come to a decision that we needed to move off of what we had, and that the mayor could look at that recommendation and move away from what we had. So in my mind, it's kind of an ominous beginning to 2018 to just say that we're going to change for the sake of change and trust us it'll be good at the end of the year. I was astonished by that decision. The second comment, it's not lost. I mean, the majority changes, and there's a little bit of a cleaning of house that goes on. But my second comment is relative to Mrs. Marcella, who served on the Board of Health for 9 years, over the tenure that I was on council. It was like almost a decade. And I'm not questioning the qualifications of anybody appointed tonight. I'm sure they're fantastic people. But my understanding is nobody spoke to Mrs. Marcella whether she was interested in continuing to serve, whether or not maybe she fell short in some areas, and we just went in a different direction. And she's not a professional. She's a resident who served the town for almost a decade, and we didn't have the courtesy to discuss with her whether she thought she might want to continue to serve the borough. It's just sad. It's a big miss on your part, and just shows the lack of transparency of the governing body. So I'm really sorry for Mrs. Marcella that she had to kind of listen to this tonight. The last is a question, and it's related to the special projects engineer. I heard the discussion earlier, and we had a special projects engineer when we moved from Boswell to Alamo, because there were some significant projects underway, and we wanted consistency, and we thought we needed a special projects engineer to handle those projects. But as time went on, Alamo, Mr. Murphy was handling all of our projects, and I'm pretty sure we discussed a number of times over the last year that there was really not a need to have a special projects engineer, and if there was a conflict, we would go out and bid a special projects engineer. But I was kind of surprised to hear that we appointed somebody, and it was Costa. So I'd like to understand from whoever reviewed the RFP qualifications how we arrived at that decision based on that review.
Ask me the question.
I'll ask you. You're the leader of the group up here, so.
Councilwoman Santaminico was involved. Paula back, and also was
Everybody to your left.
Sandy. The three here were involved with that.
Okay, so, does anybody speak
Just
to that?
To state, go ahead if you want. Okay. Just to state the first point you made regarding our not having a need to have a special projects engineer, and Mr. Kazmar can correct me, but the list of for what positions we were soliciting bids for was sent out in December under the previous majority, and special projects was on there. So there were several engineering companies that did submit theirs. I don't remember all that submitted off the top of my head, but the committee reviewed them, gave scores, and the mayor was given that information and then nominated Cost Engineering, and that's where we are today.
Do you know what the, what firms submitted bids?
I honestly, off the top of my head, I do not remember which ones we scored. Some, to be fair, some of the proposals or some of the specific positions had 4, 5, 6 applicants, so I couldn't memorize all of them.
Did Boswell submit?
Yeah, I believe they were.
I
I would have to
can't
think that,
And we
I
each
can't
did a
confirm that
separate
for you.
review sheet. So the way that it composes of the RFQ committee, we each get to review the RFQ. So I did my own grading sheet from 1 to 10 on each aspect. Councilwoman, Council President did it as well. So we each submit our recommendation, and then based on that.
so I don't know anything about Costa, but it just, you know, if you are going to appoint a special project engineer, I'm not sure why we wouldn't select somebody that had a lot of experience, especially in engineering problems in our borough. Norton's handled them adequately over the course of my working with him, but it just kind of seemed like a left field decision, so.
I think if there are any projects that come up that we think Boswell's unique expertise, having served previously for many years, will be an asset, I think the council will look at that very carefully and possibly select Boswell to do that project.
Anyway, thank you. Roll Tide.
Happy New Year.
Anyone else, please?
I guess you know why I'm here. I'm Julie McCauley. I live at 22 Garvey Place. I'm a member of the Board of Health. I think Mr. Boncino pretty much covered what I was going to say about Sue Marcella, but I would like to reiterate a little bit. 3 years ago, we had a board member appointed, and she had a conflict of interest. She was on the board, and for the most part, she couldn't vote on some issues, but that had come up. But this past December, her term expired. At our last meeting, she told us the mayor and council called her and asked her if she wanted to be reappointed again to the board. Now, I think that's disrespectful because no one ever contacted Sue. You contact her, she announces it to us, and then she tells us because of personal conflict, she does not want to be reappointed again. It's disrespectful, and I don't see the fairness here. Sue has done 10 years. She's a great person. She should have had the courtesy of a telephone call, just like you gave this other one. And one other thing to the councilwoman. Resumes, Mr. Dombrowski, you should remember, we had to submit resumes. I, myself, and other members of the board had to submit resumes to come on the board. This is not something new. I've done it for a few years. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Susan Marcella. I live at 57 Ackerman Ave in Elmwood Park. I'm a lifelong resident of Elmwood Park. Having grown up on Tuella Ave, I attended the high school and then earned a Bachelor of Science degree in biology with a teaching certification, followed by an MBA in business management. I worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 10 years and am currently a science teacher in Teaneck. I've been volunteering my time as a member of the Elmwood Park Board of Health for the past 9 years. For 6 of those 9 years, I was recording secretary and have most recently served as board vice president. I've devoted much of my time to serving and giving back to my town that way. In 9 years, I have missed only 3 or 4 board meetings and spent many extra hours recording meeting minutes and attending committee meetings. My current term on the board has expired in December, and I only found out on Tuesday evening that I was not being reappointed. I would like to ask why. The mayor does not know me. He has never met me or attended a Board of Health meeting to see how I conduct myself. However, 2 of the councilmen do know me and know the way I conduct myself on the board. But I was not even afforded the courtesy of a phone call asking me if I would like to continue. I believe that my qualifications and years of experience on the Board of Health should have supported my reappointment. I can only guess, therefore, that the decision was either political or arbitrary. If this is true, it's unfortunate, because for the Board of Health to operate successfully and for the good of Elmwood Park and its citizens, it should be non-political. I've enjoyed serving Elmwood Park on the Board of Health and would have liked the opportunity to continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else who wishes to be heard? Yes, sir.
First, I'd like to, Jim Golombisky, 153 Falmouth Ave. I'd like to congratulate everybody and everybody, Happy New Year. First of all, I want to thank you for reappointing my members of my zoning board. But Frank, this is to you. On an article that was written in the Bergen Record on December 26, headline was Mayor Trout's Plans for Business. You pointed out that, quote your words, "The planning and zoning boards are tough on developers who attempt to come to the town." You said members are appointed by the mayor and said he will try and bring in volunteers who are open-minded. Okay, I've been on the board for over 25 years. I don't know where you got your facts that you say that my board is tough on developers. I went and did my homework. We had, since 2010, 161 applications we've seen. We denied 7 of them, which 7 of them came back. 5 of them came back, whether they were 2 families, we modified their applications. 2 were billboard signs. They shrunk their signs down. 2 were 2-family houses on undersized lots. They came back with 1 families. The only one that we really turned down was a garage. Okay? As of 2013, we are 95 out of 95. Our board works with the developers, with the architects, with the engineers, and instead of denying them, whether they downsize, they do whatever, it's a give and take on both sides of the board, on our part and their part, and they agreed. So we're 100% since 2013. We have not denied 1 applicant. Okay, also, last year, the mayor appointed an advisory committee. I agree changes are made, but the changes should not be the members. They should be the outdated zoning ordinances. And last year, the mayor appointed an advisory for this ordinance, and unfortunately, they met in August, and I had to bring my daughter down to her first semester for college. I would like to know if you plan on continuing with this advisory board, and I don't know where you plan on going with this board.
Jimmy, let me start with saying, you've been, what, 25 years?
I believe if it's not 25, it's close, since the early 90s.
It's been an old man. I appoint you to the zoning board.
No, you didn't. No, you weren't.
Did we appoint you?
It was Kenny Van Rye, Greg Franz, and Mr. McLaughlin.
Were you there?
What?
That time? I don't know. I thought-
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
I know I reappointed you somehow, so, but anyhow, that's not important. You know, in the past, many people complain, they don't want to come to Elmwood Park, business people. They come in, they're afraid to approach. That doesn't mean you. We go back to the planning board, and I tell you, we are planning to go over the ordinance. We are planning to do that, to see, because there's a case right now where a lady, she paid tax for the past 30 years, and she's unable to rent a place. And that building is over 100 years old. Sometimes we look for something that's most impossible. If someone wants to rent a place, comes before here, and they know they have to go before this, before that, and everything else takes about 6 months. I have experience. My office on Market Street.
Which came in front of our board and got approved.
My office on Market Street was there, from one office went to another office. I had to pay $3,000 for an attorney to come here. I lost a 6 months rent because I was not happy with that. Now, Lately, I understand you guys are doing an excellent job. I hear that. Yeah, you have different people on the board, and I'm very happy with that. So, Jimmy, I look for the improvement, and I want to be business friendly in this town, because business pays a tax.
As you can see, my board is business friendly.
Okay.
We have not denied one person. We stopped developers from, there's been a couple cases where a developer came in, put up a one-family house with a beautiful French door, with an iron rail in front, and there's a plate for a deck. Built it right to our zoning ordinance. And then when he told the owner, after you move in, go up to the zoning board, and they'll grant you the zoning before they will me. And are we supposed to do that? And let them go over their lot coverage by 40 to 40%? It's not fair to the residents.
Jim, maybe it's not you guys, maybe some of the other, they should give advice, like go over, well, it's, anyhow, just want to tell you one thing, for certain, many stores are empty in this town, and I like to see them to be filled, okay?
Oh, so would I.
Okay.
So would I.
I'll do the best I can.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else wish to speak?
Rich Cherwinski, 42 Walnut Street. Congratulations, Sandy, and congratulations, Lorraine. And Happy New Year to everyone. I wasn't going to come up, but when I hear Mr. Golembeski talking about the zoning board and the planning board, over the years, and I've built extensive in this town, I grew up in this town. Problem with the zoning laws is some of them are antiquated, Frank, to be honest with you. Some are behind the times, and it discourages developers from coming into this town. We should all take a lesson from what's happening to Garfield at this time. Garfield is moving ahead with their project, and they're in the process of condemning the second section to redevelop. We missed the boat when Garfield did the first section there. That the county gave them $7 million along with the state to do that project. But we can learn from them, and as your advisory board, we'll put those new ordinances together and streamline some of the processes, which will make it easier for these guys on the zoning and planning board, and encourage developers to come into this town. Then you'll start getting business here. But you got to know where you're going to extend your business districts, and not just for a parking lot, but where you're going to have to extend it just for the actual expansion of businesses, which you're going to get some negative pushback, of course. But bear in mind, you do for the good of the 20,000 residents.
Mayor,
I know that you and I work together
Yep.
on changing many things, made it easy now for business.
Right.
On the strip mall, on Market Street, right?
Right.
In other stores.
Well, we
That's
changed- we-
Much better now, because we work hard, we changed the ordinance.
The contingency
right?
ordinance, yes.
With the zoning officer.
Right.
He helped us out, and it's been much better, that's what I said before.
No, it's got its turnaround there, starting, but small, but it doesn't have enough parking yet on Market Street. We have other problems we have to do, but there are some good planners out there that we can learn from other towns that do this, and land use attorneys that know a lot more than we do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may, I'd like for the record to Mr. Chewinski as well as Mr. Golembiski, this mayor and council reappointed all the board members to the zoning board. So it's not that we're saying that we don't trust them.
And I thank you for that.
Yes, you did, but I want to make sure that the residents of Elmwood Park realize we reappointed every one of those board members to those positions. So I just want to...
We want to say that we like to see this improve, that's all. I know you guys, as I said before, you're doing a better job now. The applications go smoother now. I'm happy, because we made a change when Mr. Trowinsky was here. Because before they ran the store, spent thousands of dollars. There was no need for that. That's all I have to say.
That's it.
Anyone else, please, who wants to come up here?
My name is Joe Marcella, and my wife had the courtesy and courage to come here tonight and ask the question of why she wasn't afforded a phone call after 9 years of serving on the Board of Health to see if she would like to be reappointed, and no one has answered that. So can one of you answer the question why others were contacted and not her?
believe, did, I
even-
never
The
contacted
only thing is,
anybody.
people who have to be reappointed, they usually approach us. Really, I don't know your wife.
Well, Julie just came up and said that someone was contacted in December, which was before the rest of
Sir,
the council knew. to see-
the premise of your question is that someone who's on a board has the right to come back if they choose. And that's not necessarily true. Someone's appointed for a certain period of time, and when that term expires, at the start of the next year, the council appoints individuals. Sometimes they may be individuals who are already there, and sometimes not. And as I stated earlier tonight, it is not a reflection of their performance that they did not do well or not. In fact, we are grateful for Ms. Marcella's service, and we look forward to working with her if she has an interest in the future.
Still didn't answer the question. I think it's just an example of how you're beginning to operate already. And the Board of Health shouldn't be political.
It's not.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
So-
the question was, why was another board member asked in December if they would like to continue on the board, and yet this board member...
Ms. Marcella,
to
can you
talk
come
to
up
the
to the
mic, sir.
microphone, please, because it has to be put on record, please? Thank you.
Susan Marcella. The question was, why was another board member whose term was expiring the same time as mine announced at our meeting in December that she was asked if she would like to come back? In December, and I was not even asked, or even given the courtesy of being told, I'm sorry, you are not being reappointed. There's no answer.
No, because I didn't ask you the question. I didn't ask anybody.
Well, speaking for myself, I can't answer for why someone said what they did at a meeting, but that being said, there is a process that the mayor provides names to the council, names of his choosing, and the council can vote yes or no. I mean, it is as simple as that. We can get into the internal conversations about every single person that's been appointed or not appointed for the last 20 years. But
Not necessarily,
I don't think you're going to get the answer you're looking for.
Sue, I have to apologize that you're getting go around from everybody up here. I haven't met you prior than today. Your qualifications seem excellent. I don't know why you weren't contacted and another member was, but I'm just going to apologize that you're not getting an answer that you're asking for.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm not saying that the other people are not qualified. I'm saying that it would have been a decent courtesy after 9 years to have at least been asked or at least been informed that I was not up for reappointment, not to hear someone else announce at a meeting that they were being asked to be reappointed. And your answers aren't satisfactory,
I
but I
can see that to
understand
you,
that's
and
the way it is.
we were always striving to do better, and we take that into account.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone else who wishes to speak? The limit is now 2.5 minutes.
I'll forgo my time.
Tom Conboy, 135 Tuella Avenue. I know when I got up, I didn't look at everybody, but I could tell the faces behind me. Happy New Year, everybody. When I first got elected as a council person, it was a real big learning year in the first year. This is a small club. I hate to say it, we have, 60,000 residents, something like that in Elmwood Park, right in that ballpark area.
60?
60,000.
Minus 40.
We got 19,264.
There's only 24, oh, really? Okay, see? I forgot my constituents already.
They moved out when you left.
Mayor Muller will be yelling at me, you gotta know those stats. But what I mean by that is, not everybody's banging down the door to run for office.
That's true.
Not everybody's running in, banging down the door to serve on boards and so forth. And, I was never, when I got elected, I got elected because I wanted to serve the community. I started coming to these meetings. It's when I first met Mr. Chewinski and Mr. Castiglia. I wasn't a Republican or a Democrat. I don't think I was even declared at that time, just because I wanted to find out more that was going on in town. But when I did get elected, it was a, kind of time it was a very big learning curve because I did meet a number of people in town. When I say it's a small kind of club, not that it's a club, I know someone's going to get offended by that. What I mean is that, most of these meetings, there's only us here, right? There's usually 5 of us here, right? So, and at a work meeting, you're lucky if you get 3, unless there's a real issue in town. And so as a concern, it's not a knock on the residents. Our residents work really hard, whether it's a couple or a single family and so forth. But, when I first got elected in that January and took oath, I had to vote no on a lot of individuals that were on boards of the people that I knew. And it was a tough decision because one of the board members had called me and said, I've been on that board a long time. And at that time, I didn't know if that individual was a Republican or a Democrat. And I'm not going to be shy about it. And the person probably knows who I'm talking about. It was Sandy. Sandy, if you remember, you were on the Board of Health, right? But I let people influence me and say, hey, you can't vote for her, but she's a nice woman. I've met her a handful of times. Doesn't matter. She's a Democrat. Well, I didn't know what she was. We never discussed those issues, even to this day. And I'm a cheerleader, right? So we've talked a bunch of times, right? So, and she called me and said, I'm very upset, I'm very sad, I'm very, disappointed. And I said, I'm sorry, the best answer I could get, and I think I did give this answer, Sandy, was, I've been told you're a Democrat and someday you may run against me, so I can't vote for you because then it'll be campaign literature and so forth. I think that era in this town is changing because things change in this town, right? Sometimes very sad changes happen and so forth. So the mentality changes. And I recognize that among you, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, so give me a little extra time maybe. I recognize a lot of changes in some people here that I've served with. I had the honor to serve with Lorraine for a year. We sat next to each other, sometimes chuckled about a couple of things, and agreed on a lot of issues. But I did notice, I will give a lot of credit, I actually was a little jealous as a former councilman. Over the last couple of years, there has been a little bit of a change of council persons who didn't just vote down party lines. So I know I got scolded when I wasn't a big fan of having to not vote for Sandy. Then I got scolded again by the county. I couldn't tell you when I was elected who was in charge of the county, who was, call me naive, stupid. I didn't take orders from the county, not insinuating anything here by anybody here. When Councilman Chewinski and I wanted to give more powers and authority and expand the role of our clerk, I get called into a room and get scolded. Rich got scolded as well. The county so-and-so called, and how dare us, this guy wants to be mayor. At that time, Wes Patterson. Well, how could you guys do this? What are you guys doing? Right? You know what I'm talking about. You're smiling. We said, we don't care.
I'm hiding.
And they maybe had some insight at the county, and that's how it turned out. But to this day, it's never been a sorry day for this community. I've also had the privilege to serve under with two great borough attorneys. And what happens is us spending so much time together, you begin to get to know the people, get to like the people, you know who their kids are and this. So it's difficult when change like this happens. However, as Mr. Giblin has not been reassigned, but Mr. Randazzo has served his community great, and I believe he will, and he knows he's got my full support even as a resident. And then that kind of gets me back and bring me to the Paul Lurch thing. I didn't know Paul before. He was already our auditor before I got elected, my first time. And I've served, of course, Frank, my 6 years with you. Oh, only 1 year we didn't. But you stormed right back and got reelected the following year. And it shows your passion for the community. So, but Paul has done a wonderful job. Mr. Lurch and his association has done a wonderful job for this town. And I know myself back at the time when a different majority had the control, they tried to bring on the person who you voted for tonight, and they were skeptic about the issues around the time that the Dumont article broke. And then when we had our issues with our Board of Ed, they made a change and went with the same firm. So I think former Councilman Vancino touched on it, that, I bet you most of, and again, this is going to sound insulting to the camera, to our taxpayers, because we're taxpayers too, but I don't know how many of them even know that Paul Lurch was our auditor. And that's not negative on them. It's just they go about their lives and their business. They trust us. That's why they do vote. So I think that was a tough one. But I will say that you guys should maybe either make an ordinance, I don't know if it's ordinance worthy, that stops this kind of stuff, where resumes must be due. Because over the last couple of years, since I've been off council, all of a sudden this resume thing started. Over the last couple of years, this whole resume thing. Frank, you're agreeing with me, right? I know you, by your reaction, you understand what I'm saying. because I gave you two guys a lot of credit last year, yourself and Councilman Dombrowski. You may not like me, you may think I'm just a big bag of wind, fat wind, whatever you want to call me, but we're all passionate in this town, and we all step up when people need us, or we volunteer for things. And there's not many people fighting us to take those volunteer roles on, right? But you two guys were very passionate. It was even covered in the paper. You know one thing, I work pretty damn hard for the kids in this community, in this town, and even outside of this town, in other leagues that I operate and oversee for the youth. You guys fought with the governing, which was my previous affiliation. You guys wanted me on the rec board. Frank, you were very adamant about it, so was Joe. And even one of the current council, at that time, one of the council members even said I needed to be vetted. That man has known me a long time. I need to be vetted. So it would really probably stop some of the heartache that happens. I'm not up here to I'm not up here to pick on anybody or be a Republican or a Democrat. Maybe you should solidify that whole process so things like that don't happen, or that the personal touch is there already, or they already know already going into it. This is what's required of it. So with that said, I will get off from God bless all of you. You guys have a wonderful year. And I'll leave you with one thing, and we know this. Those that have served during a time period in this community, just because you have the majority doesn't mean that we should now, and not that this is happening, but we all know I know exactly what Frank's talking about. Some of you that have all served during that era. It's not about getting even. It's not about, well, now we're in power, so now you have to eat it. You're not the majority anymore, because that could change too next year. So the most important thing is you have all been elected to all work together. So good luck to all of you. I'm here to support every one of you.
Tom, don't go away yet.
Excuse me.
You want me to stay, Frank?
Good start.
How much time do we have left? 3 minutes.
Well, that's not my fault. I just got up here.
No. Go ahead.
I know, I want to make it quick because, Tommy, you learned a lot when you were here, right? We talk about, let's be political, and you were political at the beginning.
Don't die.
Then you open up your mind and you start to be...
That's why I'm not elected anymore. My own club worked against me.
Show you that you were a changed man. I talked to you, I think you and I talked for a while once, and you realized that what I was doing was not such a bad thing.
Frank,
And I tell you...
we all learn. Sometimes you get that freshman year under your belt. By the time you're a junior, you're ready to go.
You are also very good with the kids. You are, when I see you, I like to see you correct again, make all the announcement. You did an excellent job. I like that. Very good speaker. I like it.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Tom, one thing I just wanted to mention, may I?
Yeah, 3 minutes. Minutes.
Oh, you want me to stay? This is nice. You said the majority wanted me off.
I remember that, and when you came up and started speaking about it, I remembered back, and I was thinking about it, and actually, I was never told. I think I heard it from some resident that, oh, by the way, they're not reappointing you. But the entire board, the Board of Health at the time, I was the only Democrat, they were all Republicans, and they said, oh my God, we really want you to stay. But nobody ever came to me, and I think I was doing a good job, and that's when I called you.
Yeah, and Sandy, I wouldn't have come up because I know how you felt then, and it's something I carried with me all the remaining years I was on, so.
Yeah.
Okay? Thank you very much,
Is it
everybody.
over?
Anybody else?
Okay, thank you very much. If no one else wishes to come up, I think I'm going to close the public meeting. And I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, call the roll.
Motion to close.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Now, before you go, guys, just to remind you, remember this meeting is being videotaped. It will be on Cablevision, Channel 77, on Tuesdays at 12 p.m., Thursdays 9 a.m., and Friday 8 a.m. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?